Well, today we're prepping this for the first shakedown. Well, it's another hot Kansas night, and as usual, when it gets this hot, I tend to work after dark. You know, with my day job and all that, I gotta take the time when I can. So we're gonna prep this for the first shakedown cruise. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I have been driving it a little bit. I've noticed a few quirks and all that, and I'll share those with you. But there's a few things I need to do with this car before I take it on any long trip, and I just got to get it kind of lined out. New oil change, filters, and whatnot. And it has a little bit of it has a check engine light, and one of the exhaust recirculators. It's a line that comes out of EGR. It basically recirculates unburned fuel back into the engine. That's clogged, so we'll discuss that and how I fix that, and we'll go from there. So I went down to the O'Reilly's and I got new light bulbs for the corner lights because both of them are out on both sides. Wix oil filter here. Some Quaker State. I couldn't find the oil that I wanted to, but this will work for now. And I got something else neat. Part of the problem that I had was that this was a patrolman's car. It did a lot of idling. It's got just shy of 6,000 idle hours on it. It's only got 112,000 miles. To give you a point, my other car's an '06 with 92,000 miles and only has 1,080 idle hours. So it's got a lot of time. And in idling, what happens is there's a lot of carbon buildup, especially with, you know, the new ethanols and all that. So just out of curiosity last night, I topped it off with E85 because it'll take it, and it's cheap and I can get it here in town. And this morning I tried out this this 44K, I don't know if you can see that, from BG Products, and put this in the tank and started driving it around, and within about, maybe an hour later, check engine light went off. Car's running great. So we'll we'll change the oil, and then we'll get it ready for its shakedown cruise tomorrow. There's a couple other things I may need to look at while we're here, but let's get to it. So while we've got the car up, we're going to give the tires a spin, and I'm going to show you the first thing that I found. I'm going to give this tire a spin, and you're going to notice that the treads are going in and out. This tire's starting to get a bubble in it. The tread's starting to go. This is where my shake is. So I'm going to have to replace this tire tomorrow before I go on the road trip, because this tire's bad, and I'll probably end up replacing both of them. I already went and got some quotes today, so we'll get it fixed in the morning. Now let's get on to the next thing. Now that we're under the car here, the first thing we're going to get is the oil filter. It's kind of tucked away right up there, so let's see if we can get the wrench on it and get it out and get the new one on. Apparently I can unscrew it from the top, but I'm going to have to take it out from the bottom. So let's get under the car, get the old one out and the new one in, because I've already gotten it loose. You can turn it, so let's do that. Okay, now that we've changed the oil filter. You can't really see it because it's black, but it's right there. Now 5/8 socket, and she'll drain all the oil, so let's do that. Well, it was on firm, but it wasn't on ugga-dugga tight, so we'll get this to break loose here, and here we go. Now this only takes a minute. Lots of guys will sit there and wait for every last iota ounce to drop and drain out. I'm not that guy. It really doesn't matter all that much if you're always gonna have residual oil in the engine, and that's why we got a new filter. So we'll drain the gist of it out, wait till it's pretty much done draining for the most part, put the screw back in, we'll top it off, and then go on to the next thing. As with the other car, we looked through here and apparently there was dirt in the pan. That's not from the engine, but if you see, nothing's sparkling, so that's a good sign. I probably should have cleaned out the pan before I started, but then again, I'm not reusing this oil. It's going to go in a jug and get recycled, so it's really not a big deal. Once again, this is the only funnel I could find, but make sure it's clean. Clean it out with some carb cleaner and wipe it out. Do whatever you have to do to get all the dirt out. I like carburetor cleaner because it burns clean and it doesn't leave any residue. It dries, and once it dries, it's gone. So now we got the clean filter. Let's get the oil in it. Now let's check the dipstick to see what it says. And we'll wipe it off and look at it again. Okay. It's still about a quart low. I believe this takes 6 quarts. So we'll put the last quart in and we're good to go. Now that we got that done, let's get in and fire this thing up. All appears to be good. Alright, we'll let it run for a minute and then shut it off, let the oil go all the way down to the bottom, and we'll check it again, and then we'll head off to the next thing. Well, while we're waiting, we'll go ahead and change the air filter out. Well, while the old one wasn't horrible, it's still kind of dirty. We got a new one, so let's get the new one in and toss that one and be on to the next thing. It's a good idea to keep an eye on your oil level and your filter, especially when changing one. Just because it's a specific brand name doesn't mean it's not the same generic filter. A lot of these filters are made by one individual or one company, and they just stick whatever sticker is on, or whoever orders what. So just be mindful of that. Just make sure you buy a good quality brand and you watch it to make sure it's not leaking. Now the last thing we're going to fix tonight before we shut her down are these corner lights, right? They're both gone on both sides. Neither of them work. They're not hard to fix. You got to take a screw out and a bolt out from the inside, and they both just come right out. But I got replacements, so let's get them done. What makes these such a pain is that little bolt right there. You got to take that one out and then take the screw out of here. Take those out. The one on the inside can be a little tedious, but take your time and it'll come out. But this is what I have to use to get it out. I just put a little bendy on here and a little wrench, and she comes right out. When you're putting in bolts that are hard to reach, a little trick: put a little piece of paper towel over it, cram it into the socket. It'll stay in. That way you can weasel it into the hard to reach places. And once you get it screwed in and pull the socket off, the paper towel will come right off. So just a little trick. It'll keep your nuts from falling off the sockets and make it a little easier. One of the interesting things about working on these cop cars is there's actually hookups here for, there's a strobe in this one. You can kind of see it down there. There's not a strobe in the other one because I replaced it with a police one, but the police one didn't have a strobe in it. So we got it all done up, so we're going to get cleaned up and we'll catch you tomorrow morning. Apparently the tag light is out, but I'll worry about that some other day. Well, it's the next day now, and as you saw last night, I have one bad front tire, so we're going to go up and get that replaced, and probably replace both of them, and then the car's going to be ready to hit the interstate. So let's get to that. Well, we're here at the tire shop. Let's see if we can get out of here with the least amount of pain. And she's getting her new shoes. I'm putting a fairly cheap tire on for right now. It's just, I seem to be vomiting money lately, so we're going to put a cheap mid-range tire on it and see what happens. I would love to put another set of Goodyears on, but they're pretty expensive, so we'll put these on and hopefully we'll be out of here shortly. Well, the tire sensor light is off finally. Now let's get it up to speed and see how she acts. We're up to 60 miles an hour now, and it's a marked difference already. This thing is smooth. So they were out of the tires that I ordered, the cheaper ones. So since he was out of them, they went ahead and upgraded me for free, which was nice. Tires for these cars are a little pricier. If you're used to buying, 15-inch, like the 70 series and all that, these, you start getting up into this kind of size of tire, they get a little pricey. So that's just something to keep in mind. But I gave right at about $500 for all 4 of them, mount, balance, new valve stems, and they reset the computer for the sensors. So $5 out the door. That come out to about $125 a tire. So not too bad. The Goodyears were going to be, I looked at Goodyears and they were going to be $238 a piece. I'm sure I could probably find them cheaper if I'd looked around, but kind of on a limited time today. I got other things to do. Life doesn't stop because you got to get tires. So let's head back to the house and we'll go from there. Got it up to 60 so far and just smooth. So we're happy here. So we've decided to go on a long distance shakedown cruise. We're just running down to Oklahoma, not really that long of a distance. We're here on the turnpike. We're running up to, we got it running about 80. The check engine light came on. Hooray! So we'll let you know how it works out. The new tires are really good. We really wanted to get them up to speed to see how they were working, so we decided to go on a little trip. Sun came out, the rain quit, so now I'm pretty pleased. So I just wanted to share this little bit with you. The car's running great, oil change is great, everything's pretty much straightened out. Turns out it loves E85. So with that, I guess we'll head down to Oklahoma and then we'll do a synopsis after this, most likely. Okay, spoiler alert, we're going to the casino. That's why. I really don't have much of a synopsis. We bought a car, we fixed it.
It all was pretty much general maintenance. Tires, you know, oil change, air filters, just general stuff. Had some check engine lights, got those figured out that it really isn't anything serious. But for the most part, we probably, well, except for the tires, have, I don't know, we don't even have $100 in it if you take away the tires. So, well, maybe right at 100. Yeah. But for the most part, it's just been really enjoyable, you know. So now that we've got this thing all shook down and I'm going to go in the casino here and lose a bunch of money, I don't know what's going to be next for this car, but I'm sure we're going to do something. But like I said, we have other projects we need to do right now. So I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. See you next video.